Today, October 22nd, is the substitution for King Chulalongkorn Memorial Day and is a national holiday here in Thailand. It's the day that Thais commemorate King Chulalongkorn or Rama V, who passed away on October 23rd, 111 years ago. You're watching Thailand Top Stories with me, Natty from the Thaiger. Today's major news in Thailand and around the region. Stay tuned for a quick update on the COVID-19 situation here in Thailand, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Starting off with some breaking news. Thailand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has just released a list of 46 countries and/or territories that have been approved to take part in the planned reopening of the country from November 1st. Some of the countries include Australia, Canada, China, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, New Zealand, Singapore, South Korea, the US, UK, and Hong Kong. The government has also outlined 7 conditions that will determine if someone can enter the kingdom quarantine-free or not, which are that visitors must arrive by air and come from a low-risk country approved by the Public Health Ministry, have proof of vaccination with 2 doses of a recognized COVID-19 vaccine, have a negative PCR test result taken within 72 hours of departure from the traveler's home country, have at least $50,000 in COVID-19 insurance coverage, have a proof of a hotel booking, have downloaded the Moshana app, and take a second PCR test on arrival or within 24 hours of arrival, and in the case that the second test is negative, visitors can continue their journey without any further quarantine. You can find the full list of all 46 countries and the 7 conditions that I just mentioned above on thetiger.com. The vaccination center at Bangkok's Bang Sue Central Station is offering services to foreigners from now until the end of the month. According to the center, foreigners must enroll with one of the 4 major mobile phone service providers comprising AIS, NT, DTAC, and True. Those eligible will receive a combination of the Sinovac and AstraZeneca vaccines as their first and second shots respectively. For most, visiting the dentist's office isn't exactly the most pleasant experience in the world, and even more so now, as the ongoing global pandemic continues, it has led to fewer patients visiting their dentist due to concerns of transmission. It has been reported that the number of visits to dental clinics has seen a significant decline, with the rate of adults dropping to 33.7% this year from 52.2% in 2020. The Department of Health calls for frequent disinfecting of waiting areas, touch surfaces, and X-ray machines every 1 to 2 hours, the implementation of an appointment system to prevent crowding, and a requirement for all staff members and patients to be fully vaccinated. Patients who have yet to receive vaccinations can still visit the clinics, provided that they take a COVID-19 antigen test in advance. Safari Park, a local zoo in Kanchanaburi Province, needs help relocating animals to safety following a flash flood that hit hard earlier this week. 4 districts of Kanchanaburi Province have been hit hard by flash floods, with Bawploi District, where Safari Park is located, experiencing the worst of the inundation, with floodwaters as deep as 2 meters and many of its roads submerged. Army officers have reportedly been transporting villagers and their animals around the area to safer locations. Regionally, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government is aiming to ease COVID-19 restrictions on bars and restaurants next week as infections continue to decline. The GG News Service reported that the easing will be announced later this week and would apply to businesses that are certified as following anti-infection measures. Tokyo and much of Japan lifted COVID-19 emergency measures on October 1st that had been in place for almost 6 months. Infections have fallen dramatically from a wave of more than 5,000 a day in August that hammered the capital's medical infrastructure. About 67% of Japan's population is now fully vaccinated, and the government is planning to roll out booster shots this winter. At the same time, authorities are planning to use a combination of vaccination certificates and COVID-19 tests to further ease curbs and reopen the economy. Malaysian public servants and government departments could face disciplinary action or termination of service if they fail to complete COVID-19 vaccinations under a new immunization policy that takes effect from November 1st, according to Malaysia's national news agency, Bernama. The directive, which comes under the Public Service Department's COVID-19 immunization implementation policy for federal public service officers, warned that failure to comply with the policy might result in disciplinary action or termination of service. The circular added that from November 1st onwards, any officer who fails to comply with the head of department's instructions may result in disciplinary action or termination of service. It also said almost 98% of civil servants have been inoculated and that 1.6%, or about 17,000 people, have yet to be registered for vaccination. And now for a quick update on the COVID-19 situation here in Thailand. The CCSA has reported 9,810 cases of COVID-19 with 66 new deaths. According to the latest reports, there have been 10,513 patients who have left care in the past 24 hours. Earlier, health authorities said they were currently focused on dealing with the COVID-19 situation by sealing off affected areas instead of implementing a nationwide lockdown. For more news on Thailand, go to thetiger.com or check out our evening show, Thailand News Today. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday.